Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Always a pleasure. Sean O'Hagan. Sean, a couple of fighters on this GBM card, but before we talk about it, I want to talk about obviously Wembley last week. Josh Warrington, his first time at a new weight, came into it on the back of a great camp, but came up short against Anto Cacace. Just give us your sort of initial takeaway from it.
My initial take on it, I thought that we could have sneaked a draw, may have even sneaked a win. I'm getting loads of messages and people getting on to me, but listen, we were up against it with Queensberry. I mean, once again, and I'm not going to slag him, I thought Howard Foster had a fantastic night, refereed it absolutely perfect.
He let it flow, didn't he?
He let it flow, you know, and I've always said that Howard's a good referee. Judging, I'm not going to say so much because I've got boys out this weekend, so we'll let that one go. Listen, it was always going to be a good fight. It was his first run out at Super Feather, and it was okay. I think we just lacked that little bit of snap, that little bit of urgency about it, and everybody saw the result. But came out unmarked, unscathed, which is always a bonus, and kind of half announced his retirement. I don't know whether or not that's going to stand. We'll see in a few months' time.
Yeah, I messaged Josh, obviously, was saying, look, commiserations, putting a hell of an effort against. I mean, he's a big boy, he's Anto. Don't think people realise until you see him how big he is at that weight, but he put on a commendable performance. I suppose Josh is at this point in his career now where, you know, you look at the last few fights, and because he's coming off back-to-back losses, and he's at that age now, he maybe will question, you know what, how do I rebuild from here? You know, because at some point you just look and think, you know what, he's achieved a hell of a lot in the sport. When is the right time to walk away? So all these questions going through his head that only he will answer. It's difficult for me to ask you what you would like him to do, but I'm sure you have half an idea.
I'm not bothered. It's not me boxing, is it? It's not me doing camps. But I think you know when time's there, and I think the time is right when you don't have to question, should I or shouldn't I? I think it's one of them where you say, fuck it, that's me done. Convincingly, that's the time to retire. Looking back at the losses, a points loss to Anto Cacace, not end up world. For me, he beat Lopez. The Lee Wood thing, I think, we were hard done by with breaking momentum by referees. So it's not like there were out and out losses and he's been destroyed in every one of them. You know? And so I don't really pay much attention to that. You know, it's easy to look back at a record, but look at facts and be honest, you know. It's one of them where he'll know if time's right or not, but if he wants to retire, he'll retire, and if he don't, then we go again, don't we?
I suppose, just on the side of that, how proud are you as obviously a father, trainer, for everything he's achieved? I mean, when you look at Josh's record and people go, you know, oh, this big thing about, you know, not a big knockout ratio, you ask Carl Frampton, who's the hardest he's ever been hit by, it's Josh Warrington. He's never had anything easy. Every step-up fight's been in a proper step-up. There's not been vacant belts where he's picked it up just to raise his profile. I remember you telling me stories early on about some of the money he were taking and the people, the places he had to go. He's done it the hard way and he's achieved a lot. You must be super proud. If this is the end, you must look back and go, this has been a movie career.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he weren't expected to do it. He never went through England setup. One time he was the only fighter to become world champion without going through England setup. So yeah, immensely proud. I'm more proud of him as, not just as a fighter, but as a person, you know, a man that he's developed into. Because away from cameras, I know he can be a bit lively and he can have a little go, but we all can, you know, it's boxing. But away from there's another side to him. And that's the one that I'm most proud of. That's the real Josh Warrington that people don't see, that I do, that I've seen every day from day we had him until now, you know. I'm immensely proud, yeah.
Well, look, coming away from, obviously, Josh, just quickly touch on the top of the bill. Was there any surprise for you with how the main event went that night? Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua. Daniel came out looking like a man on a mission, and he went out there and proved a lot of doubters wrong again. He's on 3 good wins on the bounce now, and it's a hell of a scalp, Anthony Joshua. What did you make of it from what you've seen? I know you had other things on your mind, but...
I think Anthony Joshua, I know Ben Davis, and I know what he was looking for, and you saw little glimpses of it as Joshua came out. I think he got a little bit overexcited. I don't think he stuck 100% to what Ben was telling him. I think he got caught cold, got caught early, and from then on it was always going to be an uphill battle. But I mean, Daniel Dubois, take no away from him. He's a beast, isn't he? Yeah. You know, he walks him down. I think AJ might have been as well, you know, just kind of going out, drop a feint, bring backhand under, and then distance again. I think he slips up with distance and he tried to hunt Dubois down. Instead of doing that, maybe, you know, stalling with jab, step back. He needs distance and he needs a bit of time, does AJ. I don't know whether it was occasion and Dubois managed to just walk him down or whether it was part of game plan, I don't know. But I mean, everybody's writing AJ off now, and I don't think you've seen last of AJ. I really don't. But there were times where he hurt Dubois, you know, it could have quite easily gone to the way.
Just before it finished, he caught him with a peach.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that little short punch that Dubois threw, that right hand, that finally did the damage. But he did catch him. He caught him with a couple of good shots that visibly stiffened Dubois up. But, I mean, with heavyweights, I've always said it's a toss-it coin. Toss-it coin, isn't it? You know, we see it week in, week out, and everyone's surprised, and I just think, you know, this is heavyweights, this is rolling dice. You know, you roll the dice, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah, definitely. 16-stone men punching. It's brutal sport, and unfortunately sometimes that's how it goes. Look, Maxi Hughes and Reece Mould got a bit tense there with Reece Mould on stage. I mean, the Walshes have been around the block a time or two, and they know how to play the game, and he's coming to stifle a lot of plans. I know Reece has said, look, I can't beat you kind of thing, that'll be it for me. So how's Reece looking? I've seen glimpses but not fully, but Reece going into tomorrow night looking in good shape?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, we shouldn't be here because he beat Cully in Dublin. Everybody saw that. The only man who will disagree with me is Gary Cully himself, but that's okay. So for one, Reece shouldn't be here, he should be on a bigger fight. Reece is looking absolutely superb. He's doing everything that I'm asking him to do. He's showing a lot of promise. He's kind of got a little bit of desire back now after Cully disappointment, and he's ready to go. So yeah, I'm expecting a good result there from Reece.
Are you wanting that rematch with Cully if he comes through?
Oh yeah, we asked for that straight away, but they're not going to have it, are they? You know what I mean? It's the most looked after fighter that I know is Cully. I mean, we even got laughed at while we were there. Even officials from Irish board were laughing and giggling on the way out and pointing. You know, it's not very professional, but you know, if you honestly believe you won, then give us a rematch. We'll fight him again. You
got Maxi Hughes, who sort of wrote his own little movie into his career and headlined America twice. Getting back in there into just, you know, dust off the cobwebs, go again kind of thing. What are we expecting from Maxi the next sort of 12 months? Is it to get him back to where he was? Obviously, Cambosos, I know, is looking for a fight. I know he still wants that rematch. That'd be ideal for you, probably, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of luck as an outfit, do we? I mean, Maxi Hughes really last time he arrested, deported a week in London when he should have been preparing. That week turned into 2 weeks. He lands, and then 3 days after he's got to fight one of the best fighters in the world. But you know, he was never going to perform that night after everything that he had. He was physically drained, he was mentally drained. But look, he's ready to go again. I mean, we've got a good opponent in Estathios, is it? The Greek god Estathios, who for me has got a cracking opportunity to overturn a former world champion and make his way up the ladder. For Maxi, it's one of them fights that we've got to do because we need a win to be able to get back on track and maybe look down the line at Cambosos or one of other big names, which Max is more than capable of. So yeah, he's got a job to do as Maxi, and he knows that, so we've not taken him lightly. We need to make a bit of a statement, so I think it's an absolutely cracking fight.
100%. Well look, 2 fights on tomorrow night, I'll be there. Look forward to seeing the boys back in action, and we'll catch up soon.
Cheers, pal, always a pleasure.